This is Mateo Lane. We're about to cook. I'm going to put about, like a quarter of a cup or a third of a cup of olive oil in the bottom of that. Right?
And what's the name of the dish we're making?
Fennel and sausage pasta.
Do you know how to say fennel in Italian?
Finocchio.
And do you know what that means?
It's kind of a nasty, kind of a thing about or something.
No, it means.
Oh, it means, right, that's right. Okay,
and it's so funny, every time I order it to the waiter, I'm like, and due finocchi, per favore. You know, it's a two. Please. You'll probably bleep that out.
Nice. No, we won't.
Okay, so is this Italian sausage?
Yes, it's sweet Italian sausage.
Oh, this is fantastic. I'm in heaven right now.
It's basically shooting goldfish in a barrel the minute you uncase sausage, right?
Yeah. I mean, it smells good. I also love taking Italian sausage out of the casing.
It is kind of a sexy thing.
Oh, it's just fantastic.
It has a whole foreskin kind of
My mother will do Italian sausage with red sauce, but what she does is, they cook it, she just puts it on a pan and just keeps adding water on a low heat and just lets the steam cook it for a few hours. Then she puts it in the red sauce, and then it's just... Sunday nights.
A woman who knows what she's doing, right? All right, so now this is going to be, let's see, is it like that thing yet or what?
Yeah,
there we go. It's there, right? Okay, so we're going to put this in, right? And here's the thing about sausage. It's about doing this. Mm-hmm. This is like grating cheese, which is more of a workout than you ever expect.
Right.
It takes a little something out of you to do this. And the thing is, you don't want it too fine because those chunks are good. And you also don't want it to get too brown, because if it's too brown, it's not good. You want it to be like pink, like foie gras color.
Smells so good.
Smells really good. Do you need a hood?
Olive oil inside. No,
sure.
I'll be the vent. Italian cooking is very much about the produce and the products, like i prodotti. So it's about really good Italian sausage, really good cheese, and then simple recipes thrown together, as opposed to a lot of complicated ingredients. Most Italian dishes are like 5-6 ingredients, maybe less. I mean, they're not like the French, where it's like, butter.
You know what? Don't start bashing French cooking, because I love French cooking, and I'm way into it. And you're right, there's maybe like 1 or 2 more ingredients in French food, but they also, darling.
No, the French cooking is good, but I'm just saying it's more complex. I think Italian is like...
Maybe.
It's complex in its assembly, but it's less ingredients, I feel.
Except, yes, all right. Because you know what? The Italians have the advantage of pasta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas the French people there's no such thing.
They're like, really. Damn it, why are we not thinking of pasta?
Exactly. But I feel like they invented bread, so they have it.
Their bread is
phenomenal. Oh my God. And like laminated, like croissant. Are you kidding?
Oh, a croissant. I was dating this French guy briefly, and then of course, as most men do, they just disappear. But he was very proud of his bread. This looks fantastic.
Very, very, very proud of his baguette.
Yeah, his baguette. Mm-hmm.
All right, so this comes out. You don't want it to be too brown, because it's going to then cook also when you start adding all the other ingredients. Right?
Okay.
So just brown it and get that beautiful sort of oil to be, right? In goes the onion. And by the way, that's just 1 large onion.
Okay.
That's how much I use. If you don't like that much onion, don't use it, you know? I like a lot of onion in my food.
I love onion.
And half moons.
Yeah.
Right, as opposed to cubed or diced or
any particular
brunoise, darling. It's not brunoise. It's just plain old half moons. What?
Just because you like the texture-wise?
I
like
do,
yes.
And what do I love? What? Little salt.
Little salt?
Yeah, so it goes fast.
Bravo. How often are you cooking? Like, how often do you cook for yourself?
You know what? I cook a lot. But it's like this. I don't really, cook what I'm supposed to cook, right? Now, I know this woman, and she talks about cooking. I can't believe.
Is it my mother?
No. This woman's like, we had Serrano chilies. The minute I hear Serrano chilies, I go like, no, that's way too much for me. I can't possibly get Serrano. Like, where do you even get a Serrano? Like, I know you get them, and I'm sure I've cooked with them, but it scares me. There are certain ingredients like that,
Should you start boiling your water?
It's boiling.
Oh, there you go. Fantastic.
Darling, see, I think of everything. Wait, you see, we have it. Wait a minute, I'm going to put it on. There you go. Okay, so that's that. I think those are soft enough. Because I like a little crunch, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to add the Finocchio, right?
I'm already here. And one's cooking.
I mean, that's a lot. So that's enough,
is great.
Right? And what is that, like a cup and a half, would you say?
Yeah.
Do you ever know about and a little more salt, Do you ever know about quantities? Are you good at like sort of codifying?
Certain things, I mean, I think obviously with baking, but when it comes to cooking,
Yeah, baking.
it's by the eye. I just really do it by the eye. And I do a lot of cooking videos, and people are like, well, you didn't say how much pecorino. And I'm like, I don't know, look at it. Like, this is what my mom did.
By the way, I also have your water boiling. How about that?
Great. That's
okay,
great.
so we really don't have to. Now I'm gonna salt my water.
Okay.
Right? With about 3 tablespoons of salt for the pasta, right?
Okay.
How's that? That's about right, wouldn't you say? Do you
Yeah.
use more than that or less?
I pretty much put a giant handful and just toss it in.
You have to be careful with this because you're going to use a lot of the water in, and if it's too salty, it's like...
My
too
cousins
salty.
from Sicily moved to Jersey, shocker. And when I salt the water, my cousin's so Italian, he will take a spoon and test the water before he puts the pasta in. He'll be like, needs more salt.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, like,
That
Jesus
is-
Christ. They're real guineas, yeah.
Now, wait a second. Is it like an episode of The Sopranos moving from Sicily to Jersey?
No, they're, you know,
Just one.
the mafia is not really the way it used to be.
It's not, right?
No, my family in Sicily are just kind of like quiet, nice people who are like, you know, in the middle of Sicily. They're not they're not like, listen, come over here, I gotta make a sauce. They're more like,
Really?
who wants
That was
fried
sexy.
zucchini?
That was kind of sexy, though, I have to say.
I know, imagine if I was straight. I wouldn't have to do
Well,
anything.
I say that all the time, darling. I say
Actually, I'm
that
thrilled
all
that
the
I'm not.
Me too. For one thing, we don't have children.
Well,
have the
here's my
children,
thing. I hate
because
when
the
I say to
children-
someone, I don't want kids, and they go, well, you know, you can have them.
Really?
It's like, I
I know, exactly. It's not about that.
It's not about acquiring a child. It's about not wanting children. Although I would make a great mother.
Me too. I would make a great... You're right about that. All right, so now, darling, I think now I'm just going to use a little of this, right?
Ooh, pepperoncino.
Pepperoncino, right? A little bit of that. Mm-hmm. And you know, what Lydia told me was you always like want to toast that a little bit and get it all.
So you've
up
met
in.
Lydia.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, yes. We're friends.
Jealous.
All right, so now you have to use some of this, right?
I could eat tomato paste just
Me too.
as is.
But
Frying
this-
tomato paste, fantastic.
I know. Okay, well, you know what? Then I have to show you how to make my aglio olio, because that is, I should have done that. You see, I should have known.
No, do you know what? Can I tell you? I'm thrilled to be watching this instead. Because aglio olio, it's a very famous Italian dish, but this one I'm not familiar with, so.
Right. Okay, so you do this, right? You just kind of, you want to get the can taste out of it, so you kind of brown it a little bit, right? And then you kind of like mix it all together. You coat all this in blah, blah, blah.
Do you add any water, or are you going to keep it
In about
thick?
1 second, I'm adding
okay,
water.
great.
And once that goes in, the penne goes in, right? Once the water goes in here, I just want to coat it up a lot because,
Yeah.
I don't know, it makes a difference.
Well, also all the flavor. It's going to
Yep.
really get all that.
Exactly,
Because the tomato paste is just basically intensified tomato.
yes.
And it just, I love tomato
Me
paste.
too. I love it.
Just
I
the smell of it
adore
smells like ragu. My mom
And you know
makes
what?
ragu.
Whenever I have it in my pantry, I feel kind of safe.
Yes.
Like, okay, I have something, right? And so now I'm going to use about a good deal of water. Like,
Yeah.
what's that? Ow! That hurt. That actually hurt. That's like
About a cup of water.
It's like a little more. It's like almost a cup and a half or 2 cups of water. And you're going to probably end up using a little bit more, right? And you're going to scrape all that, right? Deglaze. And then mix this in nicely, right? Mm-hmm. And then the penne goes in.
I love your kitchen so much.
It's a really good kitchen.
I'm going to come over here and cook with you.
Please.
Sans camera. Just
Please.
come over and like, let's make
Darling,
lasagna.
Here's the thing about it. It comes from years of hating one's kitchen.
Yes.
And then finally getting the chance to sort of do a kitchen. Yeah. Okay. So see this? This is a little high now, this fire. Okay, so there. So now this goes down. And that's it. That's your
That's
pasta.
it. And this will cook down. Also the fat and the sausage. Oh, this is
I know. It's really good, right? I'm telling you.
buona. So what's the box say? Follow the box, you guys.
Well,
and do a minute
you know, I'm going
less.
to give it 10 minutes because if it's more than 10 minutes, right?
What do we say?
You
10
check.
minutes, so do 8.
Oh, right, exactly. Okay.
Giovanni, if my cousin is watching, I'm following you.
I'm just going to actually, because I like this to be like good and at least for the moment, because I want it to be a sauce. You know, I
Right.
want to get it to like a sauce consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Boom. See that? And then it bubbles away.
This is great. I mean, it's going to thicken up and be...
Yes, I'm going to put it
So
on
good.
low.
And on top, it's just Parmigiano. That's it.
In the sauce. That's
Oh,
why it has to
really?
be nice
Oh,
and
fantastic.
loose. And you thicken. Oh, yes, darling. We don't waste any time with it. And then we garnish also here. Little garnish.
What's that garnish?
It's just from the fennel bulb.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the fronds from the fennel bulb.
Oh, great.
So what do you talk about while pasta is cooking?
It just depends, like if I'm with friends or if I'm like recording an episode. You know what I mean?
Oh my God,
So
no, this goes in. See, I always forget something. Oh, sorry. Okay, that
That's
goes in.
fine, it's
That's
cooked, it's
fine.
great,
It's
yeah.
fine. It's fine.
It's Italian food. It's rustic. These types of
It's
dishes,
fine. And
you're
look,
allowed
it still has 4, 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. All right. So now here, you try this, darling. You try the pasta.
Vorrei assaggiarlo.
Be careful. It's hot.
Okay. I feel like I've done this so much in my whole life, just trying pasta. I can tell it's not ready.
Yeah. Right. It needs a minute or two.
Okay. I would say it needs like a minute more.
I could tell from the way you're chewing and the sound that your mouth is making, that
Yeah.
it's about a minute off. I mean it.
But I like,
Plus,
it's gonna cook in
gonna
there.
cook.
Yeah. So I would say no more than a minute, put it in the
All right.
sauce.
This is done. And now this goes in here,
Love.
right?
Was this the whole box?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
great.
1 pound. Just going to add a little bit more water to this, right? That seems like a lot, but I'm going to also add cheese.
No, but it's got all that nice starch from the pasta.
And I'm going to kill the heat before you add the cheese. So now I just added cheese, right?
Yep.
And that's going to thicken this up a lot too.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to add more cheese, darling. More cheese.
Good.
Okay, this looks gorgeous. I'm going to
This
take
looks
it out,
great.
right? I'm going to do this. You take that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tilt this over the
Go ahead.
thing, and you just get that in there, would you, darling? Thank you. Good for you. Good. I love it.
Buona. I mean, this is for a family. This is
I
fantastic.
know, it's a huge, huge amount of food. Okay. And by the way, you could use more fennel or less fennel. All right, who's going to taste it? You're going to taste
Me.
it for one, right? Let me get some forks.
Ooh, this looks so good and very creamy looking.
Right? Well, darling, I mean, that's the idea.
Oh, this smells so good. Ooh, the pasta's
do
cooked
you
perfectly.
Is it?
Yes,
You sure it's
yes.
not overcooked?
Nope,
I'm not kidding.
Cooked absolutely perfectly. This is fantastic.
It's not too salty.
Nope. No, not too salty at all. The flavor is incredible. And you don't get too much like tomato paste. It's just, it's coating everything perfectly.
Because you should have cooked it out, right?
The star is the sausage and the pasta. Perfect.
The star, darling.
Yeah. It's going to Broadway. Oh, this is great.